I'm at the Pilot Travel Center right off Interstate 85 in Carnesville, Georgia, where there's a brand new DC fast charger implementation. I'm going to do a news Coulomb site review method review of this station now that it's finally open. Okay, so this location is in a really good spot. Interstate 85 connects Richmond, Virginia with Montgomery, Alabama, passing through the cities of Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, and then ending in Montgomery. It's kind of known as the Main Street of the South. There's a lot of traffic that it carries. And this particular location is 90 miles away from Atlanta. What makes that good is you could stop, refuel here, and make it all the way to Atlanta and through Atlanta. Atlanta is notorious for having very bad traffic. So having a stop you can come to outside of Atlanta. Let's see if plug and charge works. Having a stop you can pull into outside of Atlanta. Payment has been authorized. Sail all the way through Atlanta without having to get off the interstate is a big benefit. On the other side of Atlanta, there's another Pilot Flying J, and there's also a Buc-ee's in Leeds, Alabama, which is right around 200 miles away from here. So you fill up here, you can get it all the way to Buc-ee's, or if you don't want to go that far, you can stop at the Pilot Flying J on the other side of Atlanta and not have to worry about getting off in the heavy traffic. Let's see if we go ahead and connect. Connecting to your vehicle, I heard contactors made. And we are charging. I posted up here with 16%, which is really nice. As I mentioned, for me, this is a really good spot. I left my house this morning with 95% battery, and I pulled in here with 16%. So this is a perfect refueling spot for me. Let's go ahead and take a look around before we do the site review. Let's go ahead and take a look around because this is a really nice facility. Okay, as I mentioned, I pulled in here with 16%. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. Sometimes when a station is initially commissioned, you don't get full power, but I am getting 150 kilowatts, which is 155 is the maximum throughput of the Volvo XC40 Recharge. And I am getting that. And the cost we'll get to in a second. Let's look at the, where is it? Session details. Here we go. All right, so I'm getting 400 volts, 365 amps, 152 kilowatts. So for me, that's full power. Let's go ahead and check the price. 52 cents per kilowatt hour. That's not too bad. Cool. All right, so as I mentioned, this is at a Pilot Travel Center. For those who don't know, Pilot operates the largest nationwide chain of truck stops in the United States. And this is one of them. The truck stops are always immediately off the interstate and also have every amenity a convenience store would have, conceivably, plus many others because they cater to long-haul truckers. So things like showers, laundry, financial services, like being able to transfer funds, things like that, are all a part of what they offer. Plus everything that you would expect to see in a normal convenience store. So terrific amenities, directly off the interstate, and very accessible. So Pilot Company is investing $1 billion in refreshing their facilities because they've been around for a long time and is about due for another refresh cycle. And this is one of the locations that is getting what they call New Horizons refresh. Let me swing around here. What you see is the very identifiable wrap for the fencing in their construction area that indicates a New Horizon refurbishment is going on. When you go in the facility, you can see certain refurbishments occurring, and right now the bathrooms are outside in a mobile trailer because they're working on those refurbishments. However, the Wendy's is open, and I am kind of hungry, so I'm going to go inside and get something to eat. Pilot has a sister brand called Flying J, and among the two of them, they have a very heavy presence along the interstate corridors, always immediately off the exit. At Pilot locations, they have fast foods like this. This is a Wendy's, but they also have McDonald's, Arby's. I've even seen a Moe's Southwest Grill, which is like a fresh burrito place. So pretty wide selection of fast food. At Flying J, they'll have sit-down restaurants. Most commonly, it'll be Denny's, but I've also seen Golden Corral. Inside the convenience store, they'll always have quick service, so you can grab yourself a preheated sandwich, some fruit, coffee, soda, anything like that. So these facilities are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They never close. In my opinion, that's the amenity that makes these so attractive. Nothing is better than having a dependable place to come and charge your EV, that you don't have to worry about access or whether or not it's open or whether or not you have a place to go to the bathroom or get some snacks or a drink or something. This place has it all. So another thing about this location is this dead spot in between Greenville, South Carolina and Atlanta, Georgia didn't have a lot of charging. There is a Tesla supercharger at a Travel Centers of America in Fairplay, South Carolina, which is not too far. It's about 10 miles away. But beyond that, there's really not much around here. There's a few very small DC fast chargers. But as I said, I really like charging up before I get into the Atlanta metro area because the traffic is horrible. And nothing's better than being able to just stay in your car and not have to get out in order to do a DC fast charge in that really bad traffic. Because it's not only interstate traffic that's bad in Atlanta, it's also getting off the exits, getting to the charger, and then getting back on the interstate. It really adds a lot of time. So if you could charge up outside of the Atlanta metro area like this, or at the Tesla supercharger at Fairplay, it's definitely a better strategy. Okay, now that I got some food in me, let's go ahead and do the site review.
Here's the vital statistics. It's the Pilot Travel Center in Carnesville, Georgia, off Interstate 85. The PlugShare location will be linked down below in the descriptions. It has 4 stalls, fed from 2 Delta dispensers, each with 350 kilowatts, and 4 CCS handles. For plug-in charge, it uses Auto Charge Plus, which is the native EVgo standard. The new Coulomb site review model is a 50-point score with 5 categories: access, amenities, concentration, location, and speed. Each category is 10 points. Let's get into the score. This site did very well. For access, the only thing it didn't have was pull-through stalls, but it did have ADA compliant spaces that were marked. It also had sufficient marking to enforce against icing, and it was right next to the entrance to the site. It is also a very short walk into the facility for the amenities and services. It is very close to the interstate. It has point of sale options and also plug and charge. It also is sufficient for the location. I was the only one there at the time. Amenities, it does not have a canopy as other Pilot Flying J's do. However, there is overhead lighting. That seems to be a pattern that Pilot Flying J is following for these installs. If there's no lighting immediately over the chargers, they add one, as they did here. There are 24/7 bathrooms, as in all Pilot Flying J's. The facility was undergoing a refurbishment, so the bathrooms were temporarily located in a trailer outside the front. But as in all Pilot Flying J's, they are open 24/7. There were also trash cans and squeegees. On-site security, the facility is staffed 24/7, 365. For dining options, there was a Wendy's, and they also have snack drink options in the convenience store. There is no park, picnic, and pet area. Sometimes at truck stops, like at Love's Truck Stop, there is, but at Pilot, there is not. For the novelty and the sightseeing opportunities, there is a entrance into what's known as the Cherokee Foothills close by to the location, so I gave it a score for that. For concentration, it has 4 stations, so it lost a few points here because it doesn't have 12 stalls, as is not uncommon in Tesla superchargers. It is less than 20 miles away from a other EVgo Pilot Flying J location. That would be in Brazelton, Georgia. It also is appropriate for the region, the number of stalls, which is 4. I think that seems to be the bare minimum now, and in my opinion, 4 is good. For location, it scored very highly. Not only is it immediately adjacent to the interstate entrance, which you can basically walk to from the property, it's right on the interstate. So it cleaned the category there. It is also, as I said, close to the Cherokee foothills, so it got a score for along a historic route. It's also in an incorporated area that has no other public fast chargers. As far as I know, there's no other chargers within the vicinity of that municipality. And now let's talk speed. The transformer was a 750 kVA transformer. There are two Delta chargers feeding two 350 kilowatt dispensers. So that places it above 500 but below 1 megawatt. Giving it a total points of 39 out of 50.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop charging and see the final session statistics. All right, I heard my car release the CCS handle. App indicates charging complete. Final cost $32.67 for 58.706 kilowatt hours delivered. Not too bad in my opinion. At least for Pilot Flying J, you could definitely get hit a little bit harder. And my duration was 48 minutes. I was able to go get a breakfast sandwich and use the restroom, shoot this video. And so for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I showed up at 16% state of charge. I ended at 92%. Obviously, when you get closer to the finish, things start to slow down. I was getting about 17 kilowatts towards the end. Well, there you have it, a brand new DC fast charger implementation available at the Pilot Travel Center on Interstate 85 in Carnesville, Georgia. Ready to service EV travelers going in between Atlanta, Georgia and Greenville, South Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.